What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another concept crafting video. I'm gonna try to make this as fast as I can. This is the Death Knight in a level 150 NG plus 5 concept craft here. Okay, let's see what the Death Knight is all about. You have a few options, alright. First, let's go over the stats real quick. Vigor is at 50 because you're supposed to be somewhat tanky. Mind is at 15, just enough for you to use all your spells. Endurance is at 29 because you will be carrying some heavy stuff. You're dual wielding two great swords and wearing plate armor, I believe. Strength is at 60. This is a strength slash faith build. Dexterity is by default, so is intelligence and arcane. Faith is at 46, so we can use the Black Blade incantation. Here you have a few options. You can go for the Gargoyle's Great Sword using Chilling Mist, which is what I personally would go for. You can go for the Vacuum Slice as well. Just enchant your weapon and spam it. It's really good when you do that. Other than that, you can also go for Malekith's Black Blade. I will show you some clips of me using it, but I do not end up using it because I probably will make a different build using this blade, and it just weighs so much. Look at that, 22, jeez. Alright, so it means if you want to wield it, you would have to switch this out with like Radagon Sword Seal. However, if you just want to do it the way I'm doing it, I would get the sword with Chilling Mist, because the frost proc on it is really important and will, significantly increase your damage. As soon as you get that proc, you can switch to this two-handed to increase your damage output a bit, and so you can start spamming corpse wax cutter, which is pretty good, to be honest, combination with this. Of course, we have the claw mark seal. This is the best thing because it has scaling in faith and in strength. Knight's cavalry armor, as you can see, the whole set. And you're gonna need this, of course, because you are dual wielding two great swords and you're wearing heavy armor. So unless you want to switch your armor with something lighter, I would keep it. However, the way we are right now, we do not need this anymore. I had that earlier on because I was using Malekith's Black Blade, and you will need Radagon Sword Seal if you want to use Malekith's Black Blade. For example, we can use this just for the sake of it. However, I would go for something, if you want to go something offensive, of course, Claw Talisman and Axe Talisman are very important here. You can, and that's about it. I mean, if you are spamming, you can use this if you are spamming your Ashes of War. If not, you can switch that out, and if you're barely using your Ashes of War, you can go for something a bit more defensive, some utility stuff, or just have Axe Talisman and Claw Talisman. You can go for even this one right here. You can go for this if you're staggering a lot. And you have a few options, but personally speaking, I would stay the way I am right here because I do use the Corpse Wax Cutter quite a lot, and just the Ashes of War generally speaking. This just for more defense, so this can be switched, like I said, with Claw Talisman or Axe Talisman, but we'll keep it now just to keep it short and simple. Strength Knot Crystal Tier so we can get to 70, try to maximize our damage, and Upline Heart Tier so we can negate some of that damage deltas as we are in NG plus 5 again. Now let's go over the spells real fast. Alright, so the spells are, as you can see, Golden Bow increases, you know what these spells do. Black Flame's Protection, Physical Damage Negation, very important in G plus 5 again. Beast of Vitality, very useful. I like it, I always use it, and once you cast all these three in this order, exactly, Golden Bow followed by Black Flame and Bestial Vitality, you will get to use all three of them before your mana is completely drained out. Anyways, those are the two enchants you would go for. You can switch them around if you'd like. You can switch this out. You need 1 point into Arcane to do that, which I forgot to do. But I do use an item that gives me 7 Arcane, so I can demonstrate to you soon in the battle. However, if you want, you can switch this out with, let's say, Electrify Armament, maybe Vike's Dragon Bolt if you'd like. You cannot use this. I mean, this is holy. Like, it wouldn't make sense for you to use it, but to control some lightning, especially red lightning, would make sense with the Death Knight. You can go even for Poison Armament, which is really good. I've used it in my other build that I'll show you guys later, and I loved it. Frozen armament you can't use because you don't have intelligence, and I used it on my other build that does have intelligence, and it sucks. So I wouldn't use it, and that's about it, guys. Of course, Black Blade is very important. You will use that at the start of every fight, and these are your three other spells that you would depend on, depending, on the situation you're in. They deal really nice damage. This is pretty defensive and deals massive damage. This is an offensive, massive fire damage, and this is offensive, massive lightning damage, especially to larger creatures. And that's about it, guys. So, BRB in a few seconds, and we're gonna see some clips of me fighting enemies. BRB. And I'm back. So, you always want to start up any fight, if you can, with a Black Blade incantation. And in this specific fight, I am going to showcase all of my incantations, or all of the incantations rather, that you have at your disposal with this Death Knight build, which is different again than the Death Dancer and the Death Dealer. Since this is a strength slash faith build, there is no intelligence in this one whatsoever, while the other ones both have some intelligence, or even lots of intelligence if you're talking about the Death Dancer. And as you can see here, guys, now this is how you're supposed to be fighting. I used all of my incantations, and now I use the final Ash of War, which is Destined Death. Of course, I hit him one more time since he was persistent and didn't want to die. Here I show you the Vacuum Slice Ash of War, and I believe this is one of the best ways to use it. You can use, you have two incantations really as power-ups. You can use Poison Armament. I personally wouldn't use it on this build. Even I think Poison kind of fits a Death Knight, but I feel like I personally wouldn't do it again. I would just have the Black Flame Blade and the Blood Flame Blade as my two incantations. Or, of course, this is if I'm using the Gargoyle's Greatsword with Vacuum Slice. And it's pretty good like this, because every time you do Vacuum Slice, you get a decent amount of damage. Vacuum Slice cannot be blocked or parried, I believe. And with Black Flame Blade, you're getting that extra bonus damage in there that really makes a difference, like almost 2k damage. Some of those hits were. Here I show you what my personal setup is. This is what I would do. I would go for Chilling Mist. It's really powerful, it's really useful. And guess what, guys, as soon as you get the Frost proc, if you use Black Flame Blade, you can get the proc off of them again and reapply Frostbite again. Black Flame Blade or Blood Flame Blade, they both work. So you have that as an option to reset the Frostbite proc if you wish to do so. Like, see, you got Frostbitten again. So it's already twice, and now I'm going to use the Blood Flame just to demonstrate to you that it works as well. Bam, look, is not glowing, or he doesn't have that like chillingness effect coming out of him. And now I go back to reapplying it. This is one way of doing it, and this is, of course, mixing it with the mixing in your incantations with that would really do some serious damage, depending on the creature. Look at that, 3 times in one fight. Or you can also just use Chilling Mist by itself, and as soon as you get the Frostbite to proc, you take out the Black Blade and you start abusing your Ash of War. That is another way of doing it. Here I just keep spamming this. I was just trying it out just to see how fast I can take him out, and this is probably one of the fastest times I take him out, to be honest. I was just very aggressive and kept on attacking. But those are your two options. So it's either you apply, here I'm showing you power stancing. This is why I like having the the Gargoyle's Black Blade instead of Malekith's Black Blade. With the Gargoyle's Greatsword, you can power stance them, and you can deal holy damage and fire damage, or frost damage, or even blood loss. If you use the blood flame long enough, you can inflict blood loss on some of these creatures here. I've already tested it. You can get 1 blood loss proc on this enemy per fight. Probably like 70% through his health it will proc. And now guys, we're gonna go and check out some boss fights. I tried to do as many as I could. I really was enjoying this build, so this is why it's 20 minutes long. This is again definitely one of my favorite builds, and there's just probably 1 or 2 other builds that I like more than this. You're going to see one of them. You already saw one of them. Probably competes this one, the Alucard Dracula build. But I don't know. I haven't tried that out as much as I tried this one out. So this one I just wanted like to kill anything. I just kept looking around the map for all the creatures that I can still, that are considered somewhat tough. I mean, 4NG plus 5, don't forget, guys. So we're doing pretty good for that. See that I'm not even taking that much damage, and most of these enemies do not stand much of a chance. You just have too much at your disposal. Too many spells, too many, weapon enchants, and the fact that you can, power stance your swords with having one of them enchanted with either Chilling Mist or Blood Flame, since that lasts much longer than Black Flame, but doesn't do as much damage. So you can be dealing holy damage, fire damage, frost damage, just so many options that you have at your disposal. It really is nice. I have another build that I told you guys that I'm going to show you eventually, where it's the same kind of concept in the sense that you have many weapon enchants at your disposal, and it's a strength build, but the other one is like mainly strength. Like you barely cast anything. This one has more spells, and it's just so different and on so many levels in comparison to that one. That one you don't cast any incantations and all that, but we'll get to it. I'll talk about it when we get to it in a different video, of course. But for the Death Knight right here, as you can see, again, all these bosses are pretty easy. I'm very confident this level 150 build can take on NG plus 6, 7. I mean, 6 is probably what I'm going to be doing next for the next character. The Star Seeker is going to be NG plus 3, I believe, but I'll let you know once I beat, I beat all the bosses with him. I believe I only have like 4 or 5 big bosses left, but I've barely been playing, guys. I've been super busy, and I've also been trying to create concept crafting videos as well, because I just want to have as many ideas as I can out there, and then I can take my time creating, guides for them, and then even maybe letting you guys vote on which one would you like me to which one would you guys like for me to use to finish, let's say, the DLC whenever that comes out. Anyways, guys, as you can see here, this one was kind of a bit messy against this putrid avatar, but I still found it, not that bad. I just kind of messed up a bit. I will fight another one as well, and not just yet, immediately after I defeat Vike here. But as you can see, also Vike usually deals lots of damage. His lightning attacks deal massive damage, but I don't let him do that. And I mean, at least not this time. I did die to him once. Like, all of his lightning attacks are scary, especially if your buffs wear off. And whenever I get the chance, usually, Black Flame Ritual just kind of prevents him from, like, attacking. Gives you a good chance to get in your Corpse Cutter, or rather, your Corpse Wax Cutter. I just call it Corpse Cutter because it's just faster to say it. So that's what I would do. I would honestly try to get, like, those are your 2 options, as I mentioned earlier. So either you play around, if you're going in melee for melee damage, you play around with the Chilling Mist It procs frostbite really fast. As soon as they're frostbitten, you can enchant your weapon with black or blood flame blade, and you hit them once with it, and then you go in for chilling mist again and get that proc and keep doing that. Or as soon as chilling mist procs, you start power stancing your swords, and whenever you think you're gonna have a big opening, or at least long enough of an opening to use your corpse cutter, that's what I would go for. Because when they're frostbitten like this, you get that extra damage bonus, and that's a good time to use uh, your Ash of War. So those are my personal favorite two ways of fighting when it comes to melee with this guy. Otherwise, I would use the spells, or the incantations, whatever you want to call them, just situationally, because I do love the strength builds. So, for example, Ancient Dragon Lightning Strike, I would use that for, let's say, any of the dragons, Dragon Lord Placid Dusax, even the Elden Beast. The fire ones, the fire spell, you can use that against, let's say, the putrid avatars. I didn't do it, but like it deals massive damage to them since that is their weakness. And that's about it. I mean, you don't really have too many incantations at your disposal. You just have two fire ones, one lightning one, and of course the black blade. That is what you use to usually if you get the chance to start a fight. And that's about it. And you can keep reapplying it whenever that buff wears off. You can reapply the black blade again on them if you get a chance for it, an opening for it. Even if you do just the first part and just attack them once instead of swinging the blade twice, unless of course you have been granted enough time to do so. As you can see here, the corpse wax cutter was dealing pretty decent damage against him. I used it twice there and then killed it. Now we're at this flying dragon, Grail, and again the black flame is really good against bosses with lots of health. Blood flame is too, and so is chilling mist. It's just you have all these things that will delete the enemy's health bar at your disposal, and you can power stance on top of all that. It's just such an amazing build. It's so much fun. You can just decide to go for, your Ash of War if they're weak against holy damage, since that is what it does. You have many, many, many options. And don't forget the Gargoyle's Black Blade. It ranks up with, it scales with faith, dex, and strength, meaning that if you want to go beyond level 150 and dump more points into those stats, you would perform really well, and the sword would carry you all the way through if you're level 200, 300, whatever it is. I'm planning on staying to 150 all the way to NG plus. I believe after 7, it doesn't get any harder. You just can keep doing it again and again, and that's it. So if I can get a build to carry me through there, then that's it. There's no need to level up beyond level 150, in my personal opinion, and it's a good way to test your build, in my opinion, again. So guys, this is pretty much the very end right here. This is the last boss we're fighting. He was the toughest one out of the ones that were left, so I saved him for last. And tell me what you think of this Death Knight. So we have the Death Dancer, the Death Dealer, and now the Death Knight, and the long-awaited Death Knight that I've been wanting to do for a while now. Finally did it. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you're all having a great day. Take care, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.